the beginning of your reader's notebook, that looks like this, you should have a table of contents, right? Can anyone remind me what the purpose of a table of contents is? Hasiel?
It's like a page where you can find different stuff like the animal section and stuff.
Right. Well, in like the sections of the book, right? Then usually it's based on the different headings in your book. And so we're going to take a look at that right where we are. Most of your reader's notebooks have these pages correctly. If for some reason one of your pages is flipped differently than mine, right? Then obviously you're going to have to change it according to your reader's notebook. Because again, how you have things set up should be like mine, but some of you might have glued down a page in a different spot. So you should be checking along with me. The first 5 pages are our old jobs from 2nd grade. Since we're not going to use these much, if at all actually, we are actually just going to write for the first 5 lines, the first 5 pages, very large. We're going to write 2nd grade. Yes, on 5 lines. Jobs. So on the 5 first lines, you're writing 2nd grade jobs. The reason you're doing that is because we're kind of disregarding our headings for these pages. So that should be in the first 5 lines. On the first 5 lines of your table of contents. First 5 lines. If for some reason your big writing didn't get to the 5th line, then make sure you're just crossing out that 5th line. Because again, that is the 5th page, all the way up to the 5th page.
Is this anything other than grade?
That's okay. That is okay. Mine did, so did yours will probably do that too. Okay, so now that we've gotten through those first 5 pages, Sam. Yes. Now that we got through those first 5 pages, what we're going to take a look at is what's right after that, our 6th filled in page, right? And so our 6th filled in page is more than likely, or should be, story elements. If for some reason you flip-flopped story structure and story elements, that is okay. That is okay, but you will write in 6 story structure, whereas I'm going to write story elements there, right? Right, so you'll just switch them, right? So on page 6, for a lot of you, for most of you, you'll write story elements. If you flip them, you'll just say story structure first. Those of you that don't have your reader's notebooks, yes, you'll be writing the same thing that I am. And we'll just hope it's the same. Okay, so then, Cassandra, you're writing story structure, right? And I'm going to go ahead and write the 2nd page so that people have that up just in case they have them flip-flopped, right? Our page 7, or some people's page 6, is story structure. Oh. Story structure. Everything I am writing, if you don't have your reader's notebook, will look exactly like mine. If you have your reader's notebook, you will check your pages and make sure that it lines up with mine. Right? So you'll write just like mine, story elements and story structure. Now you'll write story structure than story element. Okay, so you'll just flip. So you write story structure. Story structure right there. And then write story elements. Okay. Where are your jobs? Your jobs are supposed to go all the way to 5. Then you start on 6. Story structure and story elements. Right? We're making a table of contents. We have to know the pages. Okay. On page 7. I'm sorry, not 7. On page 8. I'm flipping. We're gonna put beginning, middle, end. And we're not gonna spell out the whole word. We're just gonna make kind of it abbreviated. BEG dot, comma, MID dot, comma, and end. Right, beginning, middle, end. If you'd like to number your pages as we do this, you certainly can. I think, yeah, obviously those need to not. I probably am going to, because that will make my life easier.
We have to put 1, 2, 3.
What? Bella? Not the time to ask questions like that. Thank you. So I'm going ahead and putting numbers on my pages just so it's easier for me to find the page quicker. If for some reason, I need to flip there quickly. Okay, so after beginning, middle, and end in your books, you will probably have this page with a hand that says summary. Page with a hand that says summary. Okay? So you'll just write that there.
This page says it's summary.
Yep, that one, yeah, that one should be summary on top. Mm-hmm, yeah, that's the one.
Oh, this one,
Okay, so what you're going to do is on 9 and 10, you're going to write summary on both lines. So like you can write it big like you did on top, just write summary right there. And you did it on 2 pages. There you go, there's summary right there. That's good. That's next in here.
Now I open it to 25, remember?
Sure.
Quite fast. Half of it, I'll just keep going.
All right. After summary, right, you should have a page that says somebody wanted but so then. And on the top of that, it should say fiction. If it doesn't, then obviously you probably should add that. Yep, I know. Fiction. Right. That's telling us kind of how to say a quick summary on fiction or a main idea. Right? fiction. Somebody want to put those in? Fiction. People that are following along with us, you should have written in fiction. All right, on 11, should have what's important. What's important? What's important? Oop. What's important? We're setting up this based on the headings we're seeing on our pages, right? We're setting up our own table of contents from our headings. Is what's important on here? So you don't. Oh, there's your what's important. Did you write that? You wrote fiction summary. Wait, what? So story. My structure. So there's story structure. Where's story elements? You're supposed to write story elements, story structure. You should write beginning, middle, and end, and then what's important, not summary. What's important. Yours is a little mixed up. All right. Next, you should see on the top, it says, how do I find the topic of an informational text? Or nonfiction is what I had you write on top. Nonfiction. Right? And some of you might have author's point on the opposite first page. So again, if you did that, you just flip-flop them. One like that. But for me, my 12 is nonfiction. Right? And then our other page is author's point.
Mine is
Nonfiction, author's point. Okay, again, you should be looking, if you have your reader's notebook, you should be looking to make sure that you have those pages in those order, in that order, because that will determine what you're putting on which page. Okay? Taking a look. Making sure you even have that page. Okay?
And reasons? Reasons.
Oh yeah, reasons. Reasons. Okay, and then our next one would be message. It's the people with all the bubble gum, right? And then after that would be common lessons. And we're just going to stick with that first portion of that because we won't fit it on the line otherwise. So message and common lessons would be our next two pages. Message and common lessons. Right? That's when we talked about morals. Moral of the story. Message and common lessons. That right there is where you should have those. After that, we have our 2 pages, right? And this is when we'll write this on 2 lines because it's 2 pages.
You forgot?
Well, no, we're going to be actually splitting this up onto two lines. Non-fiction features flip book. Non-fiction features flip book. Non-fiction features. Actually, what is this?
Is that an R or an N?
That's supposed to be an N. Features, and on 17, I'll just finish it. Features.
That's
flip book. That way you can tell that it's supposed to be on those 2 pages. Right? That's where we found out all these things. And in particular, right, this is nice because, again, we are talking today about a table of contents, and that gives the heading and beginning page of each section of the book. And that's what we're doing today. Right? Paying attention to a table of contents. Why are you not using the lines? Because you're not following the pages. So is fiction on both 13 and 14? Do you know? These should be on individual lines. See how I'm writing on individual lines? Shouldn't be going into the other one. So Eva, I think you're gonna have to fix them. Going on to our next page, right? We're taking a look at text features, right? Text features. That is actually on both 18 and 19. Has that dog there, right? Both 18 and 19. So I'm going to write it, since it's not that much words, I'm going to write it large enough to fit on 2 lines. Text features. That way you know that it's on both those pages. Right? Kind of like when we did our second grade jobs, right? Yes? Well, we're reviewing. Great time to review. Right? And we're making a table of contents because we do need to know how to use these things. Right? We're going to be reading nonfiction very soon, and we're going to be flagging our text features. So we need to know what it is that they even do. But we'll get to that on Monday. Or Tuesday? Monday.
Tuesday,
Monday. It'll be Monday.
Why not Friday? Because that's my birthday.
Well, today's Friday.
No, next Friday.
Oh, wow. After text features, we have text images, which also takes 2 pages. So you will write on the 2 lines, text images. Text images. Right? That goes on 2 pages. This is like a handbook for all the things that you should have known or should know from second grade, right? And we're going to expand on that information this year. Hmm? Oh, one thing on the table. I'll read it. Stapler. Alright. After text images, you'll come to the next page which says contents and index. Some of you might have them flip-flopped where it says glossary first, then contents and index. So either way, make sure that the top part, right, is written on the right page. I'm going to be writing contents and index first, yes?
Are you going to use this next year, hopefully?
I don't know.
Are you going to be in 4th grade?
Contents and index. Right? Contents and index. No, Louie. You only have glossaries, you don't have contents and index? Okay, then just skip that line completely and then go on to that. I can probably get you what you need for that page. Again, those were ways for us to realize how to utilize nonfiction text features. Those kinds of areas will be really important in the coming weeks as we get a reminder on how to use those different features. Yes? Yeah, I'm aware. Hold on. So our next page is cause and effect. Cause and effect is what we'll write for this one, right? We were just talking about cause and effect the other day, right? This would have been a great tool to remind you what cause and effect is, right? And then we have author's purpose, which while we were doing our brain break earlier, right, we talked about persuade and how the advertisement before our brain break came on was to persuade us, right? And so we'll write author's purpose on the next one after 24. So 24, cause and effect. Yes? You only have one left? For cause and effect? Okay, well we have a new page. I don't know how that happened, but... Oh, because you had 2 pages, right. So go on to 26 and you'll write author's purpose there. Okay, so again on that one that was author's purpose, on that next one. We will be going to the next page of our table of contents in just a moment. Just giving some people some time to write based off of what I have.
You have another piece of paper? Yeah. Oh my god. Look it over. But there's only 35 pages. Oh, thank you.
Another one I'm going to give to you.
I ran out. No, this. I don't have 26. I'm gonna have to write over again.
Alright, I am going to have to go on to our next page. Hopefully you figured out based off what I've written for that. So on your 26, if for some reason you have a staple over your 26 and you're not really able to write, luckily for a lot of you, it will be the same author's purpose, right? Because that is this next page right here,
27 is the last page.
author's purpose.
These are the 2 last pages.
If for some reason you couldn't write author's purpose on 26, maybe try to fit it, make a line underneath or something, trying to fit it in another way, show that it's 26.
Okay, did it.
Our next page should be quotation marks. Quotation marks. You don't have quotations? Does anybody in here have quotation marks? You have quotation marks?
I do.
You do?
I
Good.
must have not been here.
Yeah, that's alright.
Wait.
So quotation marks would be our next one technically.
There's no more.
And that came out. We're gonna have to reglue that. Alright. Alright, if you don't have it, obviously don't write it because that would be wrong in your table of contents. And maybe we can add that page later when we have a chance, right?
Maybe next week.
And then after quotation marks, I have who is telling the story. Who is telling the story?
I just put it in.
Okay, and that, sadly, was the last page we got to last year. But there was more that you should have done. Oh, sad.